mean, at the end of the day, a business owner can do it's at the discretion of the business owner to do what they desire to do. The same way they desired not to let black people do things in the 70s and in
Yeah.
the 60s and 70s, and it was their right.
Tastemakers.
Class. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers, alright. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living.
As I understand it, just kind of checking it out, and just trying to get everybody's opinion on this. Y'all remember back in the day the whole Colorado cake thing with the homosexual couple?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and we could talk about that and how we felt about that, whatever the case may be. They wouldn't make a cake for the homosexual marriage couple, whatever the case may be. And then the Supreme Court just had a ruling against against the LGBTQIA community when it came to a web developer that refused to make a website for I don't know if it was a homosexual couple or it was just a homosexual in general.
Crazy.
I'm not
People
sure.
are taking this too far.
Well, maybe not. Let's talk about it.
It's crazy. That's my
Crazy.
stance on it.
Okay.
Just because you don't agree with somebody's lifestyle, don't mean that you cannot say I'm not making a website for you. That oppression is crazy.
Okay. So, Bree?
I mean, I remember hearing about the baker not wanting to make the cake. I mean, if that's something, a principle that you stand behind, I don't see it as oppression. I really don't. I know what actual oppression is.
Come on, Bree.
But an actual Christian, like if you're a Christian and you have a standard, like you got to stick by it, no matter what society says. Like it might not sound popular, but that's just what you got to do.
Yeah,
and we're gonna be seeing more of this stuff though.
They sticking by stuff that Jesus wouldn't even do.
So Goss, maybe you're not seeing a whole picture.
Maybe not.
I want to let Key get in here, and then I'll close. I'll come in, and we can just go back and forth.
Well, I'm looking in the comments, and somebody said this was just hypothetical. It wasn't even an actual case. I'm not sure if they're talking about the bakery or the website, the baker or the website. I do remember the baker. I mean, at the end of the day, a business owner can do what it's at the discretion of the business owner to do what they desire to do. The same way they desired not to let black people do things in the 70s and the 60s and 70s. And it was their right. It was their right to refuse business. It's your right to refuse business to somebody who doesn't have on a shirt or shoes. It's your right to refuse business for somebody who may smell. It's their right to refuse business for whatever reason. If it's your business, as it's a privately owned business. Now, we're not talking corporations like McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, where there's standardized operating procedures and they have all these things in place. I'm talking about your own personal mom and pop. This is my business. You reserve the right to do what you will with that business. Offer discounts when you feel like it. Raise the prices when you feel like it. You reserve the right to do those things. Is it a moral? Is it a means of morality or just prejudice? That's a decision to be made as the thing pans out. Is it a moral decision because I'm a Christian and I don't condone your lifestyle and I'm trying to keep myself from, or is it just I don't like you because you're a homosexual? Like I don't know. But they reserve the right to refuse business for whatever reason. I could not want to serve you because you're bald. I don't know. But it's my right. You could not want to serve me because I'm loud. I don't know. It's your right. You reserve the right to do what you want in your business.
So as the chat is saying, it ended up not being 100 truthful. Different people were being used, all that kind of stuff. That's not really the point. I mean, I feel y'all with the chat, as we do with Tastemakers with any topic, are more so is to focus on what this topic would look like or could look like and what does it mean. So I want to go into further detail with this, right? Like, so even with the bakery thing, like, I don't think it's right, even as Kiera is saying, I don't know that I agree. I don't think it's right not to serve people because of their sexual orientation. I don't believe that is right by the leans with, and theoretically, right. No, I know, but I don't even know it's legal, right? Like eventually, like you can't. If I walk into a restaurant as a black man in 2023, you cannot not serve me because I'm black. That's illegal at this point, isn't it?
I don't know, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Okay. Where's Tasha? Let's see. Like,
I don't
okay.
think it's
Where's that?
illegal. Like,
So here's
slavery's still technically on the books, guys. I don't think it's
well.
illegal.
So where's Tasha? So
crazy.
here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. There's a difference. All right. I go back to the Colorado bakery situation, and then we'll speed it up to like the hypothetical of this website situation. Look, if these people just wanted a cake from the bakery joint, just wanted a cake,
They don't have to.
that's one thing. You know what I mean? That's one thing, right? To just want the cake.
Yes.
You not giving them that is kind of whack.
Whatever.
I'm only trying to talk as you're mumbling and reading whatever you're reading, Kiera, out loud. So
Things Charles said. Charles said, I just explained it to you in the chat. He literally just rebuked you in the comments. So I was reading the thing he rebuked you about in the comment.
yeah, but you're not reading it to a point where anybody can understand what you were saying.
Sure, I'll be so.
So it's like you were mumbling. You're mumbling. Anyway, so yes, I'm about to eventually get down to what Brown has already, he just clipped my wings. Which means we should never go to the chat before I get through talking. But anyway, listen. And so if these people just denied them a cake, that's one thing. They denied them a cake for a very specific thing. They did not seem to approve or whatever on the marriage, so they denied the cake. The website situation wasn't denying them a website. They were willing to make whatever website they wanted them to make. Templates, whatever the case may be. What it is as soon as you start pushing an agenda on this website you want me to create for you, now I'm using my creativity and my whatever the case may be to make this for you, and I don't agree with you. Right? I don't agree with the stance or what it promotes based on my religious views or whatever. That's a different world. You know, that's a whole different situation in itself. Just creating a website for not creating a website for somebody because they're homosexual is off. That's weird, I think. Just to not create a website for somebody who's homosexual. To not, create a website for somebody who's homosexual as they're pushing a certain agenda that you don't believe in, that's different. Because now you're making an artist do something that they're theoretically against or whatever the case may be. And so I think that's it. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I think it becomes an issue. Does anybody disagree with that stance per se or anything like that? Or does that make sense to y'all or what?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think people should, do we live in a world where anybody here believes that people should be just denying people business on any fronts because of their sexual orientation?
I don't personally know. I don't think we should, but I think going back to Kiera's point, you reserve the right to when you establish that business. Like, they don't need a reason to fire you in Virginia, and they can just fire you. It's a free will state. So each state is different, and each circumstance is, it's a little different, but morally, no, you shouldn't. Does it happen? Yes. That's the reality of the situation.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see.
We're not saying that we're not saying it's okay, Ms. Legacy. We're under no circumstances.
Yeah.
No one's saying this is okay. I think we're painting the reality of, no, it's not okay, but this is the reality of the situation. People reserve the right to do what they want in their businesses. Do we agree that this is okay to do? No. Do we agree what the far right is labeling Christianity as? Absolutely not, because it's not even biblical what they're labeling as Christianity. But my thought process is, can you penalize a bit? Like, so somebody said, if they don't want to make a Black Lives Matter cake, is it okay? No, it's not okay. I'm just going to take my business elsewhere. Like, I'm not about to make a case out of this. I'll just take my business to another place, because you reserve the right to do what you want with your business. And I can't necessarily, I could make a case out of it. I could fight you on it, but no, how big of an issue is this really? You know what I mean? Like, is my livelihood at stake if you don't do the thing that I need? Is my family in danger if you don't do the thing that I need? So it's for me, it's a matter of how much does this weigh? Am I willing to fight this thing? Because this is your business. You reserve the right to call the cops and put me out if you don't like what I'm doing.
So going back, Regis, So you said you're asking them to create something they don't believe in. He's going back to the baker. Said the baker's an artist too. No, Reed. What we were saying is, if what the baker is doing as an artist
Right.
is
Charles.
in support of whatever, that's one thing. But if they just want some cake because they like cake, and a homosexual walks in with their partner and they just like cake. It's not a cake you're making for their wedding or their marriage or anything like that. You're making them a cake because they want cake. I just like cake. I want some cake. Heard you great cakes. To deny them would be foul, in my opinion. And whatever the case would be as a Christian, you know what I mean? But I could see how maybe you don't want to make a cake for their marriage because maybe you don't support homosexual marriages or whatever the case may be. Same thing with the website, right? To deny somebody a website for real is kind of whack. But if they're pushing a certain agenda that you as a creative don't want to be behind to help push, that's another ball game, right? It's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like if you just wanted to come in and just buy a generic item, that's one thing. But
Right.
asking a baker to do a pride themed set
Right.
of dessert, that's something completely different.
And he's like, I don't rock with that. So boom, boom, boom. It's no different than, I mean, if here I am, a black baker, and you walk in and you want us to do a clan cake. Sorry, I'm just not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
I'd probably do it,
Right.
but I'd charge him extra.
That is funny. So listen, and just to make sure, so based off of and this is for public facing companies like restaurants. We were talking about restaurants, right? We're saying thanks to the federal laws like Federal Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Americans with Disabilities Act, no state that serves the public can discriminate based on race or color, national origin or citizen status, religion or creed, sex, age, disability, pregnancy, genetic information, veteran status, yada, yada, yada. So for a public-facing company cannot deny based on those things. Now, when you start getting at like websites and stuff like that, and maybe even a private bakery if they're private, maybe you could talk different. But yeah, no. As Mr. Legacy Jones just said, Klan is not a protected class. But yeah. I just want to make sure, as Christians, we do not feel like we should deny people service based on their sexual orientation or based on anything that we don't agree with them about. That right?
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same chat. We on the same page?
I'm not making anything graphic. It doesn't have to be like a graphic cake. Like your same-sex couple asked me to put these images on a cake or put these images on a website. Then it's like, hey, homie. Like,
but I mean, a heterosexual couple might come and they want to do something just.
I'm not doing that
grotesque. I might not want to do that either.
I'm not doing that either. Like, nah, bro. I don't want you and your wife doing stuff on this. I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Getting crazy on the cake.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So anyway, that's what it is. I thought it was just interesting, something worth talking about. Again, I mean, I just think as Christians, there's no way we should be denying service to the public just based on something we disagree with people. But when it comes to stuff that's more creative, I could see people not wanting to put their creativity behind agendas they don't support. You feel what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. Or, you know, like I said, I might have somebody like, you know, we got somebody that put out social media posts for us. Well, if I'm something that they don't support, they might not want to put out posts on that. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. I think people should have that. And then it becomes a situation where even me as a black man, like I said, if I do want a website done by a certain joint, if I find out that they don't really rock with black people like that, do I really want them to continue to do my work? Do I want to pay them money to create art to do whatever? Now, me personally, I don't. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
Wait, say that again.
I probably wouldn't know.
So if I let's say I walk up into a joint that don't like black, that find out that this company, this whatever doesn't support, doesn't like blacks, yada yada yada, boom boom boom. Do I want them to even go and create my cake? Do I want them to go and create my website, my whatever, you know, hypothetically, whatever the case may be? Do I?
Nah, but we do that every single day though, because Tommy Hilfiger ain't like black people, and we buy all his clothes. And there's a lot of people that don't like black people, and we still support their business.
That's That's a good point.
That is true.
He can't because these are public companies. You're mentioning Tommy Hilfiger and Gucci and Fendi and Prada and all these people who have issues with black people wearing their things because they're public companies. They can't technically say no. I mean, like I said, it's at the discretion of the person. Is it good to do that? No. Do I agree with it? No. But am I gonna fight you because you don't want to make my cake? This is not a big enough deal for me. Now, if I have a child who's sick and I come in to get service so my child can be healthy and you tell me no, now I'm making a big deal. If I bring in an older woman or an old woman who needs services and the services can prolong her life and you're telling me no because she's black, that's a big deal. I'm finna tear this club up.
That's a fact.
But a cake, a website, I'll just go somewhere else. It's not that serious for me because y'all can someone else will get my money and someone else will get my publicity too.
Yeah, and I'll make sure to go online and slander the mess out of your company.
I'm gonna tell everybody that y'all trash, but I'm not gonna fight y'all because y'all won't make my website. Because so let's say I fight you, and I make you do what I want you to do. Now I'm at your mercy because something I need from you, you have to create, and you don't like me.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll just go somewhere else.
I feel that.
Yeah. So. That is what it is.
Hypothetical. I know this wasn't a real thing.
Yeah. Mr. Legacy Jones, we talking hypothetically.
Like, if this were a thing.
Right. And Regis, George Bush don't like black people. When Ye said that, I don't believe it was true when it was said. So that's just my opinion. Anyway.
He loves Michelle Obama.
He do love him, Michelle Obama.
Baby.
George Bush love himself some Michelle Obama.
They got a place for her in his room.
Barack better watch out. Barack better
he will find Michelle anywhere in the building, and he's going to hang with Michelle. And low-key, Michelle right there with him. They both be kikiing and acting a fool.
In a room full of Michelle lookalikes, and he'll find Michelle.
Shoot, you better know it. Shoot. But Michelle be right there with him, Kiki and carrying on. Those two actually, they like each other for real.
Michelle gonna do his eulogy.
Man, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all.
Tastemakers.
Class, we do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers. Aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living, we make